So today I got two mods for you, Immersive Sounds Compendium or ISC, and Audio Overhaul for Skyrim or AOS. Both are rather simple to download. If you want AOS, just Mod Manager download the main file. If you want ISC, you also need the ISC Synergy patch. For ISC, you can go ahead and just download the ISC file. Once you have all three downloaded, go ahead and install AOS. Install AOS ISC patch, merge them, and install ISC. This has a phone mod. You do need the main files, can't disable them. The specific sound options are up to you for the most part. Once both mods are installed, enable both on the left. For Cortex Mod Manager, you will need to manually extract the two AOS files. So, go ahead and open Files Location, select the two AOS files, and extract them to // Add New Mod from Folder, select AOS, select it, OK. Again, New Mod from Folder, ISC, OK, and ISC itself. Next, main files. The rest is up to you. And done. Close. Once again, enable the three files. I recommend going ahead and moving ISC above AOS. Right-click on AOS, Mod Files Location, New Folder, Data. Select all files except for the BSL and the README, and drag into Data. Close. ISC patch, New Folder, Data. Drag and drop the ESP into Data. Right-click on the left, refresh, enable the three files. If you use Vortex Mod Manager, go ahead and just hit Install All. Give it a little minute. Main files, melee options, range weapon options, and so on. All these are up to you. And go ahead and enable all. Now these are installed, and you should notice they're automatically sorted. AOS and AOS ISC are both flagged as dirty. So whichever mod manager you use, you will want to clean them. If you use Vortex, and you have the Vortex cleaning extension, go ahead and just right-click AOS, and select Clean. AOS ISC, same thing, Clean. Now hit Sort Now at the top to refresh these flags, and you'll notice no more dirty. One of the benefits of having loot built into the manager is having this message. In MO2, in order to have these notifications, you will need to hit Sort and give it a moment, and then read through. You have LWE, but you don't have the patch. You have dirty edits for a few files. Close. Now you have this right here. You can hover over it, and it's got this long section. In Vortex, you have this loot message. Double click the plugin to view it. You have LWE, but don't have the compatibility patch. ISC says use QUASICP. We are not going to be using this because it is outdated. I'll probably go ahead and upload my patch by the end of the day and request that this be changed from Quinn to mine because it is outdated. However, we do need the patch for Lore Weapon Expansion. So go ahead and Mod Manager download it. This should only take a moment. So when it's done, just install it and enable it. Give it a second to deploy. You'll notice file content has been modified if you use Vortex. This is because those two files were cleaned. Just go ahead and confirm. This patch is not dirty, so you don't need to clean it. If you're using Cortex Mod Manager, in order to install the patch, you'll need to once again go to the location and extract. Go back to Cortex, new mod from folder, select folder, and select the consistency patch. Okay. Right click on it and go to mod files location, new folder, name it data, drag into data, close, and enable. Go to plugins, right click, refresh, right click on the left and refresh. Let's go ahead and move these up to the top. If you use MO2, just go ahead and double click, install like normal. Merge it. Go into plugins and enable the LWE patch. Now hit sort. In order to clean with Cortex, first enable VFS. For MO2 and Cortex, go to SSE QAC and run it. Give it a second to pop up. And we are going to be cleaning AOS first. Then clean, in the exact same manner, the AOS ISC patch. Now we're going to patch a few things. So first of all, let's just go ahead and run VQSC just to see what we need to patch. And now, as you can see, Dragonborn, USEP, AOS, ISC, AOS ISC, and Scandinavian Seasons all conflict. We will not be disabling Dragonborn and USEP, so we don't need to note those. Go ahead and note AOS, ISC, AOS ISC, and Scandinavian. Close. Back in your mod manager. So, right click on the right pane, disable all. Yes. Enable USEP. Next, enable AOS. Now run SSE edit VQSC. After a few seconds, AOS and USEP will be the only things remaining. Many of these conflicts will be benign, such as this one, where AOS overrides USEP sound. USEP adds a sound to file, and AOS uses a different one. Generally, for something like this, AOS should win because USEP is just patching Skyrim, whereas AOS is adding, enhancing, and patching all sounds. AOS does not require USEP as master, but it does carry over many of the same changes. This unfortunately makes it a conflict. What I recommend it to do is copy the USEP version to a new patch. And you don't need the AOS version. When you get to here, you can do the same thing, but replace the USKP copy in the AOS USEP patch with the USKP normal. Again, for something like this conflict, AOS wins. Here we are with another AOS and USEP conflict. AOS USEP. You need the edit to GNAM from AOS and condition number 1 of USEP. You do not need condition number 1 of AOS. This time, go ahead and copy the AOS version over and drag and drop the USEP original to override the AOS copy. Do the same with the other weapon. Select all 4, select all 3 plugins, and hit Ctrl M on your keyboard. Name it, and put it in the AOS USEP patch file. Close. Disable AOS and AOS USEP. And next in the list, ISC. Enable ISC. Go ahead and run VQSC. You'll notice several conflicts. Once again, ISC conflicts with many of the common stuff of USEP, but ISC, being the sound mod, should win with sound conflicts. USEP, being the non-sound mod, should generally win with all other record changes. Here's where a potential error is. ISC copies over the null reference from Skyrim in data sound 1 of 10FBE6, but it adds sound 2 mag shock distant. You'll want to copy as override to a new file, and get the mag destruction fireball explosion. With this instance, you will want to drag the mag destruction fireball explosion to sound 1 in order to have the explosion sound play, and then the shock distance sound play. This is because this is a explosion shock bolt. Similarly, firebolt. Next one is firebolt. This one you can leave as is. Here in Impact, you have USEP and ISC doing the same thing, only in a different order. USEP puts hand H first, and ISC does hand L first. It's the same. Doesn't matter. You can ignore it. Next we have impact data, and most of these are footsteps. Default footstep, footstep run, default footstep walk. You can ignore all of these. Magic effect. USEP changes the skill usage. ISC changes the sounds. USEP makes this change as a patch for skill usage, not as a patch for sounds. Therefore, you need both changes. Go ahead and copy ISC to override. Copy over as override the USEP change of skill usage multiplier. Do the same thing for all 3 magic effects. Next is sound descriptors. All of these you should be able to leave as is. Next up is weapons. Here, ISC copies all the changes that USEP does, except for TNAM, which is attack fail sound. This is fine. Similarly, ISC copies all the changes that USEP does, except for TNAM and VNAM. If you want this sound to be loud for Wuthrid, then go ahead and copy that as override. I will be doing this. All other changes you can ignore. You will want to add masters to IC USEP of USEP. Okay, select the 4 plugins. Select all 4 plugins. Hit Ctrl M on the keyboard, and we want to include CRC32, IC USEP. Put it in the IC USEP patch file, and OK. OK. Close. OK. Scroll down, enable ISC USEP. Now that we have AOS and ISC both patched properly, let's go ahead and do the AOS ISC patch. Go ahead and enable AOS ISC, enable AOS USEP, run VQSC. With these 3 files, for now, we're going to hope that the AOS ISC patch works. So go ahead and select the 3 plugins, Control M, name it, and put it in the AOS ISC. Close it, and now we have to determine which of these 2 are conflicting with Scandinavian, or maybe it's both. So go ahead and disable ISC USEP, AOS ISC, and ISC. Enable Scandinavian Seasons and Scandinavian Seasons USEP. Run VQSC again. AOS conflicts, so we're going to need a patch. So first of all, I'd recommend going ahead and copying the Scandinavian Seasons record as an override into a patch. Let's name it Scandinavian AOS. The region data entry weather type section, generally you do not need to look at that when a sound mod and a season mod conflict. So let's just go ahead and shrink those. On the other hand, RDSA sounds. Most of the time you will want the sound mod to win that. So I recommend going ahead and drag and dropping RDSA sound section into the Scandinavian Seasons AOS section. And it'll ask you if you want to add masters. Yes, you do. This should make it yellow, and that's the simple way of doing it. Repeat this with all the region records. Once you've done all, if you're just using AOS and Scandinavian Season, you should have everything yellow. This works fine. Other weather mods, I don't know. But go to Scandinavian AOS and confirm not only that Scandinavian Seasons and AOS are both masters, but that they're sorted properly. Dawnguard should not be below Scandinavian Seasons, so right-click on it and click Sort Masters. Now they are in the right order. Go ahead and close, save. Let's go ahead and just right-click, enable all, yes. We have gone through all 4 plugins that were listed initially, so hopefully they're all conflicts are fixed. I recommend going ahead and hitting sort now. And as you can see now, we don't have any more conflicts. Close. Because we output some changes to our exit output, let's go ahead and make sure that we drag and drop it down to the bottom. If you use Cortex Mod Manager, the output files will appear in overwrites. I recommend moving them to a standalone mod, whether that is an individual mod per patch, or a single mod that you can load with just this profile. Similarly with Vortex, I recommend going ahead and going to the game mods folder or the data folder and moving those output files, both the mod groups and the ESPs, to their own mod in Vortex, allowing it to manage it.